Today we got a pretty crazy story. Today we got a story time of a teacher who is telling their students that losing weight is fat-phobic, quotation. Like that is a quotation I received. A pretty crazy story that I know you'll enjoy or maybe just get mad over, I don't know. But either way, you'll be entertained. So sit back, relax, leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe if you're new. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber Napkin. I'm just kidding, but someone's been commenting for me to call the subscriber Napkin, and I'm like, bro, I can't be doing that. We're going to call the subscriber Ben. Just very, very easy name, right? So anyways, let me tell you a little bit about Ben. So the summer before this story happened, right, Ben was a little bit of a larger individual, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's just genuinely nothing wrong with that. I mean, you guys know what I mean, right? It's like you should be loved just the same. However, Ben wasn't as good at sports, and he wanted to be on a better soccer team, or he wanted to perform better at soccer. I don't know, either one of those two. So he decided that he was going to spend the summer to kind of just get in shape a little bit, lose some weight, right? It's no problem with that. You don't have to do that. But also, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do that. And Ben was just in a better situation for his health afterwards. So immediately, I don't know if you guys had the same experience, but I remember back in middle school and even high school, when people would leave for the summer and then they'd come back, sometimes, bro, they would come back and they would be so different. Maybe they wouldn't be that different, but when you see them every day, they're if they change at all, you don't really see it. It's like if you see yourself in the mirror every day, you're not seeing the difference. But when people will come back after 3 months of summer, boom, sometimes that would hit you like a train sometimes. It's like, wow, that person's really different. I do remember in high school this one time, someone came back after for the beginning of sophomore year after the freshman year summer, and dude was like 15 pounds, pure muscle, added. It was crazy. And that just everyone noticed because if you put on those 15 pounds of muscle, maybe people would start to be like, wait a minute, you're looking a little different. I can't tell why, but if you saw them every day, it's really hard. So anyways, right, Ben the subscriber kind of really did turn his life around. At least that's what he told me. I mean, he felt better, life was going better. He was significantly better at soccer now because, there's a lot of, athletic movement involved in soccer. And when you're, more in a better physical shape, you're just simply probably going to be better than you were before, right? So he comes back to school. And remember also when you're starting, they're starting 8th grade, I think. He said, I don't exactly remember, but he said early high school, late middle school. So let's say he's starting 8th grade. So he comes back and they're also starting new classes. So he sits down, he comes into class, and there's this teacher who we're going to call Miss Davenport, right? That's just my standard teacher name for some reason. Anyways, right. So Ben the subscriber comes in, sits down, and everyone's like, yo, oh, Ben, dude. So everyone was kind of freaking out because Ben admits that he made some pretty big progress. And I mean, if I'm Ben in this situation, I'm feeling all the, warm butterflies and stuff. I'm feeling good about myself. Yeah, so everyone's like, dude, you look so good. That's awesome. And so the teacher, Miss Davenport's settle down, class, welcome to English class. Of course, it's the English teacher, bro, of course. Anyways, welcome to English class. I hope that you enjoy your, hope you enjoyed your summer, and I hope you're excited to start the year. How about we all go around and introduce ourselves and tell me something you did over the summer. So they start going around the circle or they go around the classroom. They say their name, I don't know, something that they did over the summer. And, Ben was kind of riding a little bit off the high of everyone being I don't know, super, super happy for him and super excited and being like, wow, you look so different. Because Ben knew he made progress, but I think the fact that he saw himself in the mirror every single day made the progress just feel a little bit less, and he wasn't sure if people were going to notice, but people super noticed. So he decided that when it came around, he's like, hey, my name's Ben, and he said I really focused on exercising and losing weight over the summer, and here I am now. And everyone in the classroom started clapping, being let's go boys, let's go Ben, whatever, right? They're all freaking out, they're all clapping, they're all having a good time or something. And that's when, Ben looked up and kind of expecting, I don't know, maybe the teacher wasn't going to like jump out of her seat and be like, let's freaking go, right? Maybe she wasn't going to do that, but at least have like a nice, polite smile. I mean, the thing is, the teacher didn't know Ben before, so it's not like she can be like, oh my God, you've changed so much. It's like, this is my first impression of you. Yeah, so anyways, right, the thing is, though, when Ben saw the teacher's expression, she had this, like, cold death stare, bro. She had a freaking cold death stare. And Ben was just so confused. He's like, hey, yo, wait a minute. Like, this is supposed to be a good moment for all of us right now. Like, I just expressed something that, like, is cool to me, like, that I really enjoyed or whatever. And the teacher's giving him this death stare of, like, you just, like, said something. It's as if, like, I don't know, he just, like, said a bunch of curse words or something, and everyone started clapping, like, and the teacher was mad about that. But he didn't. All he was saying is, like, he literally just did what she instructed. She said, say what you said, or say what you did over the summer. That's what he did over the summer. I mean, what else was he going to say? Like, yeah, I spent some time with my family. Yeah, true. I went outside. Yes, but what did you do when you went outside? You know what I mean? Like, I guess you could have made something else up. But the truth was, that's what he did over the summer. That was the thing that he did over the summer. Anyways, though. So yeah, sure enough, right? The subscriber is kind of just sitting there like a mix of like excited because everyone's like, let's go. Right? Everyone's very hyped for him. And he's still feeling this kind of like hype or whatever. But at the same time, he's now feeling a little mix of like, oh, like that was not the expression I was expecting from my teacher. Yeah, so Ben is kind of just sitting there, and eventually the teacher's like, okay, next, and kind of like very quickly shuffles it to the next person, which is fine. Ben's like, all right, well, the teacher didn't like that, right? The teacher didn't like that very much, but whatever, right? It seems like we're moving on. Maybe I started off to a little bit of questionable footing, but who cares, right? So yeah, sure enough, they move on to the next person, and Ben is like looking over at the next person. He's like, hey, my name's Jeremy. I did whatever, right? And so Ben's just kind of like smiling, still a little happy. And then he kind of looks back at his teacher. His teacher's still staring at him. The teacher's still giving him the death stare. And Ben's like, what the fuck? What? Well, like, why am I still being stared down? Oh my God, like, relax. Oh, okay, bud, like, relax. Like, this is kind of crazy, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a little weirded out right now. Like, relax. Yeah, so the teacher was still giving him, like, the omega crazy death stare. And it wasn't even his turn. Like before, at least Ben was like, okay, well, I'm being stared at because I'm speaking, right? I'm being stared at because I'm the one holding the conversation. I'm not even in the conversation. You should be focusing on the other person. Aren't you trying to learn names, teacher? Aren't you trying to learn names? Aren't you trying to, like, listen to what people did over the summer? No. The teacher was focused in, dialed in on him. Yeah, so sure enough, right, the Ben's just kind of like, okay, what's going on right now? Eventually, they finish up going around the circle, saying all, the stuff they did over the summer. And the teacher, I think, I'm very certain, makes a pivot in the original plans. So normally, on a first day of class, sometimes you jump right into the material, especially now in college. A lot of times, like, some teachers just go, all right, well, nice to meet you guys, chapter 1, right? Just because they have a lot of stuff to cover. But a lot of times teachers will, I don't know, go over what's going to go on in the class, maybe do another icebreaker, have a little, like, talk about them a little bit, maybe a little fake exercise. You know what I mean? Like, something that's, like, so easy and just, like, very, very much just getting into it. You know what I mean? But what was about to happen next was very clearly not planned from before. So this is an English class, by the way. The teacher's like, all right, class, well, I think based on our discussion we just had, I think we should actually jump into a new topic. So everyone in the class is kind of looking at each other like, whoa, like, relax. We just got here. Like, we just got off summer break. Like, maybe we should ease into it a little bit. Maybe we should just have a little bit of just a little bit more of a relaxed entry point. Like, just a little relaxed entry point. The teacher goes to the board, chalk in hand, goes up right there and says, today, class, we are going to talk about, and goes up to the board and writes fat phobia. This is the discussion that we are having today. And at this point, right, Ben, the subscriber, puts 2 and 2 together because he was thinking like for the last couple minutes, like, why was Miss Davenport just death staring me like for the last like 5 minutes, bro? Like, that's so weird. And then he sees that she makes like a mental pivot. It's like, we're going to talk about fat phobia. And then everything starts to click. And he's like, oh no. If you made it this far into the video, comment teacher down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. And if you listen to Spotify and you don't listen to this podcast, just so you know, these stories are also on Spotify. The link is in the description, but you can also just kind of look up Connor Pugs. I'm sure it'll come up. And if you want to submit your very own stories to the channel, these are all subscriber-submitted stories. You can do so by going to Instagram, looking up Connor Pugs, and then I have the one with like the verified check, so you know it's me. Follow me on there, and then send me a DM message of your story. Anyways, with that all being said, make sure you have claimed your free nothing by leaving a like on the video right now. And yeah, so sure enough, Ben is kind of just sitting there and is like, oh boy, okay, I know where this is going. Because like, remember, the teacher has just gone from staring at him with a death stare to staring at him with the death stare when he's not even talking, when she should be paying attention to someone else, to very clearly pivoting whatever she was planning on doing to have a new presentation where she talks about fat phobia, which may or may not be correlated to the fact that Ben, the subscriber, his like thing of the day was the fact that he what he did over the summer, not thing of the day, was that he lost weight. Yeah, no, it's all coming together now. So she goes up to the board and is like, let's discuss fat phobia, guys. And real quick, I do want to say, like, on the discussion of that, don't be nice. Be nice. Like, don't be mean on the internet. Okay. I see way too much stuff on TikTok, like the TikTok, Instagram Reels comment section of anyone who's like even slightly overweight. It's so mean. There's just no need for that. Like, there's genuinely no need for that. Let me just tell you, if you're actually winning out there, if you're actually going out there, giving it your all and really doing something with your life, you're probably not in the comment section and commenting something mean. That's just something I've learned. When people quote retweet me on Twitter and say mean stuff, I'm like, you're probably not building a business. You're probably not fulfilled in your life. So I wish you the best. So with that being said, there are some definitions on the internet of like quote unquote fat phobia that are just kind of ridiculous. So the teacher starts going on to say that, not saying that fat phobia is like being mean or being like unpleasant to like overweight people, because I agree, like that's not a good thing to do. The teacher starts talking about how choosing to alter one's appearance is inherently fat phobic. And everyone's kind of like looking at each other like, hey, yo, question mark, question mark, question mark. She's like, yes, going to the gym to appear physically to be more fit, to be healthier, to change your body type is inherently fat phobic. And there's nothing worse than saying it publicly. And so at this point, right, Ben is like, oh boy, like, oh man. Because at this point, right, Ben realizes that this whole lesson, this whole quote-unquote lesson with massive quotations around the word lesson and a few question marks, like, is this even like a lesson, bro? This is not English. This is English class. What are we doing right now? He starts to realize this is all based around him. So the teacher then goes on even further to make it even more obvious that it's about Ben. So she's like, let me give you guys an example of pure, blatant fat phobia. And Ben's like, okay. And the whole class is like, So anyways, the teacher goes on to say, yes, imagine that you were asked what you did over the summer. And Ben's like, oh, okay now. Okay, relax. I get it. It's about me. I'm the bad guy. Okay. Ooh, spooky, right? I'm the bad guy. Okay, I get it. Relax. Calm down. Let's do some actual English, right? Is that too much to ask? Is it? Is it now? And the teacher's like, and imagine when you were asked what you did over the summer, you decided to say something extremely fat-phobic. You said that you decided to lose weight. Ben's like, dude, just call me. Like, it's so, like, Ben was starting to get annoyed because he's like, just confront me directly. Like, this is the most passive-aggressive, indirect confrontation he's ever seen. Like, I know it's about me. You literally just said everything I just did without saying me or addressing me. Like, this is so annoying. And so someone raised their hand, and the teacher's like, yes, And he's like, this kid in the class, we'll call him like Steven. Steven's like, Mr. Davenport, but what if they just like wanted like for their better health, or maybe to be more mobile in like soccer or something? Because everyone knew that like Ben's thing was soccer, but he was always kind of held back a little bit by his size and his proportions, let's put it that way. And the teacher's like, that is extremely fatphobic, Stephen. Like, I'm not hearing any more of this. And Stephen's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so at this point, right, Ben is just like, oh, boy. And so the teacher's like, yes, I just wanted to make this very clear that I will not tolerate any fat phobia in this classroom. This is a fat phobia-free environment. And everyone's kind of looking at each other because, look, guys, it's not, don't be mean to people who are overweight. They're already going through stuff, right? And yes, they know what they look like. They've seen a mirror. We don't need you like going in the comment section and saying that stuff. Trust me, successful people are not on Twitter in the replies being like, "Lol, you're so fat," right? It's not true. They're not doing that. However, right, we also like, I think it's kind of common sense to be like, if you want to improve your health, like if you genuinely want to improve your health, your mobility, or even you just want to like alter how your body looks, like I don't even think that those are not bad things. Those are personal choices, right? Those are personal choices. So yeah, the teacher finished up by saying like that none of that would be accepted in her classroom. And yeah, so for the rest of the semester or trimester, I don't know how school, middle school, high school works, right? It's been a long time since I've been in there. I'm about to be a junior in college. Oh my God, send me to the retirement home. One like or I'll like break my back because I'm so old, guys. Anyways, so for the rest of the time that Ben, the subscriber, was in the classroom, the teacher didn't like do anything too crazy, like fail him on every assignment. But Ben would always get like some of the lowest grades in the class. And Ben isn't sure if like he just wasn't doing a good job, but it felt like every single time he put in effort, he would always hit the very low. He would either be the low or like 1 or 2 points off the low. He felt like from that point on, the teacher always had a thing against him for what he said. He felt like it was really unfair. He felt like he answered the question appropriately and that the teacher kind of like went like beyond like what she should have done. So comment down below if you think the teacher was in the wrong on this one. And if you don't, I'm actually very curious to hear your perspective. With that being said, if you want to support the channel, watch another video. There's some on screen, and peace.